I will not stand by silently when their integrity is unfairly attacked. The men and women of the FBI and the Justice Department are dedicated, patriotic public servants. Every day, they protect the American people from violent crime, terrorism, and other threats to their safety while safeguarding our civil rights. They do so at great personal sacrifice and risk to themselves. I am honored to work alongside them.
Okay, we're going to get more analysis on this with Claire Finkelstein in Truro, Massachusetts. She's the Algernon Biddle Professor of Law and Professor of Philosophy at the University of Pennsylvania. Prof, it's really good to have you on the program.
Thanks for having me.
What's your take on this very public statement we just heard from the U.S. Attorney General? Why would he have felt the need to come out and make such a statement? Is it to protect the investigation in any way, given that the Justice Department has now also asked that the arrest or the search warrant, rather, be unsealed by a court in Florida?
It was a very dignified move on Merrick Garland's part. He's been under enormous pressure the last several days since the raid. Really potentially from all sides of the political spectrum to explain himself, to explain why the Justice Department, why the FBI took this extraordinary measure. And the statement that he made today was a very wise one, because what he suggested is that the department was willing to unseal the search warrant itself. And then Donald Trump was given 24 hours to say whether or not, in fact, he was willing or interested in having that material unsealed. I've just seen a headline suggesting that he has said he does not mind having it unsealed. So it looks as though we may see that search warrant very soon. But it was really an excellent move on Garland's part because, number one, he was as you suggested, trying to defend the department, as the clip showed, and saying that he would not tolerate the department being attacked and run down. But second of all, I think he's really trying to diffuse those who see this as part of a governmental conspiracy, part of the deep state, and the anger and mistrust of the Justice Department and of the FBI, which he is really diffusing by putting this in Donald Trump's lap to some extent and saying, hey, let us know. We'll be more transparent with the public, but we're trying to protect your privacy and your rights. So you let us know if you want this unsealed.
If Trump was actually in possession of nuclear documents, now, is that something that would even be permitted by US law for a former president to have such documents once he's actually left office?
It is very unlikely that that would be permissible. The relevant law here, at least one relevant law, and there may be others, once we learn, if we learn what the documents exactly had to do with, but it's very likely to be a violation of the Presidential Records Act, that Donald Trump removed documents that belong to the US government, removed and in some cases, as we understand, destroyed documents that belonged potentially to the US government. Every president who leaves the White House has had a bit, in recent memory, has had a bit of a struggle with the National Archives over which are his documents, his personal documents that he's free to take with him, and which are the documents that are actually not in his personal trove of documents that he may take with him. What are the documents that actually belong to the US government, in which case they need to go to the National Archives? When you're talking about classified material on top of it, there are all sorts of restrictions that even a former president has to follow. For example, although a president can declassify any document he wants while he is president, once he is no longer president, he has no right to divulge or even to handle classified documents, especially not documents that are potentially classified at the level of the documents that we're hearing may have been involved, namely documents involving nuclear secrets. Those would have been absolutely the most classified documents possible and needed to stay in the possession of of the White House or wherever those documents belong.
It's going to be very interesting to see how all of this plays out. Professor Claire Finkelstein, appreciate your analysis and your time. Thank you so much.